Hello everyone, welcome to the Dubey's World channel. Before uploaded video have already discussed that hepatitis A and hepatitis about the intro of hepatitis and hepatitis A. Today we are going to discuss about hepatitis B. What is hepatitis B? In previously it was known as a serum hepatitis, and it was first documented as a blood-borne outbreak occurred in a Bremen, a city of Germany in 1883. Why it called as a blood-borne outbreak? Just because at the time in 1883 the people got this hepatitis B with contaminated needles or the used needles. From there they got this hepatitis B, and this viral infection of a liver is maybe acute and chronic. The hepatitis B is maybe acute and chronic. In 1947, the McCallum and the Bower introduced the term hepatitis B, but in 1973, the WHO adopted this word as a serum hepatitis word as a hepatitis B. Now we'll see the causal organism. It's caused by hepatitis B virus belonging to the family Hepatnaviridae. It's a hepatotropic DNA virus. If we talk about the other hepatitis types like hepatitis A, C, D, E, F, G, they all are RNA virus, but this is the one or exception case that having a DNA virus. While observing under the electron microscopy the serum of a hepatitis B, the serum from hepatitis B patient shows three types of particle. Means the spherical particle is like single round cell that having a 22 nanometer size in a diameter. And the second thing is it's like a tubular form, filamentous or a tubular form. This shapes is the filamentous particle that showing the shape size of a 22 nanometer in diameter. But this both are antigenically identical. But the third particle is the Dehn particle, which was discovered by a scientist whose name is Dehn. Actually, this Dehn particle is a doubled layer particle whose size is 42 nanometer in diameter. Now we'll discuss about the morphology of this Dehn particle. Morphology of Dehn particle. It's 42 nanometer in diameter. It's doubled wall, and as I said, it's a two layer. So the outer layer, and this is the inner layer. So this outer layer and inner layer, they are made up of lipid, carbohydrate and protein. On the outer layer they contain HBsAg, means hepatitis B surface antigen. Along with that, this Dehn particle contains 3.2 kilobase circular double-stranded DNA, which having a positive sense. When we'll see the serotypes of a hepatitis B virus, it's four types. First is ADR, ADW, AYR and AYW. So this is the one point, that hepatitis B virus serotypes shows four types, that ADR, ADW, AYR and AYW. While talking about the genotypes of a hepatitis B virus, it's 8 type of genotypes, and that is started from A to H, means A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now we'll see the incubation period of hepatitis B virus. Incubation period is mostly for hepatitis B virus is 3 months. Now we'll see the pathogenesis. Actually, the pathogenesis and transmission, it's both are same for this hepatitis B virus, because as I already discussed in a previous video, that this hepatitis B virus is transmitted by parenteral transmission. So while talking about the pathogenesis, we'll see the transmission, how it will transmit. So first we'll see the transmission. Transmission through the perinatal transmission, and second from a perinatal transmission. While talking to the perinatal transmission, this HPV virus is normally transmitted through the blood transfusion, contaminated equipments, needles, or a body secretion such as saliva, sweat, semen. The transmission of infections may take place from accidental inoculation of a body or a body fluid containing HPV during the medical like a surgery or a dental procedures. Now we'll see the perinatal transmission. In that, the hepatitis B virus can pass from blood of an infected mother through the placenta to infectious fetus. So here it is going to transmit from mother to placenta to infect the fetus. Here the hepatitis V virus can pass from blood of an infected mother through the placenta to the that will infect the fetus. The transmission may also take place during the breastfeeding also. And the close postnatal contact between parent and the infant. And the third transmission is sexual transmission. In that, the hepatitis V virus can be transmitted by a sexual contact because it occurs in a semen and vaginal secretion. So, in a sexual transmission, mostly the male homosexuals are particularly at a very high risk. Now we'll see the phases of acute HB infections. The phases of acute hepatitis V virus infections are three. First is peritric phase, icteric phase, and convulsion phase. In peritric phase, actually it's also known as a prodromal phase. In that the patient should face they may face the weakness, malaise, anorexia, vomiting, and for this the peritric phase, the incubation period is 6 weeks to 6 months. In that during the incubation period, they may get the rashes, maculopapular rashes, or different kind of symptoms like nausea also may they get, and pain in a right upper abdominal region. And while talking about the icteric phase, this phase occur after 2 days or 2 weeks after 2 days or 2 week following the periicteric phase symptoms. Same symptoms. During this phase, the patient develops jaundice, pale stools, and dark urine. But in the convalescent phase, here the symptoms will be malaise, fatigue, lasting for several weeks, and developed during the phase the malaise and fatigue, it will be for several weeks, and that will for a quite long also. Now we'll see the diagnosis of hepatitis B virus. Diagnosis for hepatitis B virus. Already I said that it's having hepatitis B surface antigen. So laboratory can test for a wide range of hepatitis B virus antigen and AB using a immunoassay. Immunoassay based on enzyme activity or chemi illuminations and ELISA method. Chemi illumination and ELISA method. And the second way to diagnose this is quantified. Hepatitis B virus DNA can be quantified in a serum or a plasma by using PCR assay or by focusing on the hepatitis B surface antigen. Focus on a detection of HBsAg. And also serology test can describe the cause and the nature of a disease. This is the diagnosis of hepatitis B virus. Now we'll see the prevention. Prevention, that's very important for a hepatitis B virus patient, because this will, as I said, that's blood transfusion can cause hepatitis B virus. So a person who have a hepatitis virus, they should not donate blood. This is the first and important prevention for this. They should not donate the blood. Along with that, they should not donate the blood. In that prevention, the promiscuous sex should be avoided. Sex should be avoided. And here as I said that it's the hepatitis B virus patient should not donate blood, share toothpaste, razors. In a prevention, they can a patient may get this also, like a active immunization. Active immunization, they may get. In active immunization, the mostly one of the genetically engineered vaccines are there, cloning the S gene of a hepatitis B virus in a Baker yeast. The 3 doses of this vaccine given at 0, 1, 6 month constant to full course. In the passive after this there is no any other specific treatment is available for acute hepatitis B infections. Interferon or alone or in a combination with other antiviral agents such as lamivudine and famciclovir vir is the most effective treatment for a chronic hepatitis B virus. These three are the acute. These three is the habits, and this is for acute hepatitis B virus, and this is the lamivudine and the famiciclovir is a most effective treatment for a chronic hepatitis B virus infection, and is successful in a 25% to a 50% of cases. There is no effective treatment for a carrier state through a spontaneous resolution takes place in some of them. So better to avoid the promiscuous sex. Donates a patient should not donate a blood, share toothpaste, and the rages. Now we'll see the treatment. Here in that interferon, I don't know from where is interferon alpha or intron A is given as a treatment, in that the response rate is 30 to 40%. Or also Adifovir or DP Voxil is nothing but a hep sera only, hepatitis sera. Or some vaccines are there, like a plasma derived vaccine, or a rDNA derived vaccine can be given to the hepatitis B virus patient. If you like the video, please comment. I need your comments. Please comment and share to your friends. Thank you.